everyone, and welcome to our second Facebook Live class today. I'm going to be going through quite a few different exercises, Qigong, Tai Chi, and some breathing exercises as well. Before we start, we're going to start off with a traditional Tai Chi Warm Up, and we're just going to stand with the feet shoulder width apart, and the arms up to the sides, and just rotating the wrists round in a circle. Aim to do about 8 to 10 repetitions, and then we'll go the opposite direction. And then onto the elbows, so we're just rotating the elbows round in a circle. So unfortunately I haven't got the great weather that we had last week, it's a bit drizzly today. It's still good to get out and get some fresh air. And then the opposite way with the elbows. And then the whole of the arm with the shoulders. And the opposite way with the shoulders. And then just push the elbows back. This just stretches the chest muscles, creates some movement in the upper back muscles as well. And then fully extend the arms out to the side, just for a deeper stretch. This one for the shoulders. And then we go on to the next. So we're just going to look up to the sky and slowly turn the head to look down at the floor, and then slowly back up to the sky again. Nice and slowly with this exercise. And then just slowly look over to the left, slowly turn across to the right. Again, turning the head nice and slowly. Okay, next we move on to the waist, so we're just going to rotate the waist round in a circle. and then the opposite direction. Just loosening up the hips and the waist. Then we're just going to lean over to the side, just hold it there for a few seconds and switch to the opposite side. And then next we go onto the knees to bring the feet together, hands on the knees, just rotate the knees round in a small circle. And then the opposite way. And then lastly, just kick out the legs. Okay, so if you missed the video last week, my name's Richard and I run Tai Chi classes in Hyde, Stockport, Glossop, Marple and Duckingfield. I do weekly classes there. And I decided to do these Facebook Live videos whilst we're all stuck in isolation to help people get a little bit of exercise if they're stuck in. The great thing about Tai Chi and Qigong is that they're exercises that can be done by people of all ages and different abilities. So feel free to join in, and if there's anybody you know who you think would benefit from these exercise videos, feel free to share the video with them or tell them about the page that you're following at the moment. So we're going to start off with some breathing exercises today. Just going to stand with the feet shoulder width apart. Place the left hand on the tummy, the right hand on top. For ladies it's right hand and the left hand on top. Just going to relax the shoulders. Keep the back nice and straight, head upright, and if it helps you can close your eyes and just focus on your breathing, slow deep breaths. So just breathe in and breathe out. Just continue to focus on your breathing. And just notice when you inhale the hands as they expand with the tummy as you breathe in, and as you breathe out how the hands contract with the tummy as you exhale. Just focus on that sensation for a moment. Just take a moment to focus inwardly. Just to help promote calm and peace with your inner self. Okay, so next we're going to stay in this position and we're going to try a Taoist exercise called reverse breathing. Now, reverse breathing is a technique that we can do. You can do it anywhere, and what it helps with is it helps us breathe from the bottom third of our lungs. So usually when we breathe in, we're only using probably the top 2/3 of the lungs, so we're not actually using our full lung capacity. So you may have heard of lung capacity before. If you go to the doctors, they might do a peak flow test to test your lung capacity. And it's helpful for anyone who suffers with any breathing difficulties such as asthma, COPD, bronchitis, anything like that. And what we're going to do the exercise, the Taoist reverse breathing, is when we breathe in, we're going to lift up the chest and pull the tummy in. And then when we breathe out, we're going to sink the chest and push the tummy outwards. So the body's kind of doing the opposite to what our breathing is. So just try that. So as you breathe in, lift the chest up and pull the tummy in. And as you breathe out, sink the chest and push the tummy out. You can do this for a few minutes. This is really going to help our lungs and improve our lung functionality. And hopefully after a while, it should increase your lung capacity. I have had Tai Chi students who've practiced this daily, and then when they've gone for the regular peak flow test, they've seen an improvement. So do try and keep up this practice. What you may find as well when you're doing this is you might get like an aching pain around about here in the back. That's perfectly normal because you're using muscles and your lungs, that bottom part of your third of the lungs that you don't normally use. And in time, that'll ease and it should feel easier. Just lifting up the chest and pulling in the tummy as we breathe in, and sinking the chest and pushing the tummy out as we exhale. Okay, I'm going to leave that one with you. It's something you can do for your homework before next week's class. And next we're going to go on to a body scan, and we do these in mindfulness meditation. That's something else that I teach as well alongside Tai Chi and Qigong, is meditation and mindfulness meditation. So again, with the feet shoulder width apart, so the feet directly below the hips and the shoulders. Place the hands on the tummy. Ladies, right hand, left hand on top. For men, left hand, right hand on top. And again, just start by focusing on your normal, regular breathing. Just slow, deep breaths. You can close your eyes if you want to, just to help with that focus. Increase the sensitivity. just going to start with the top of the head. And just focus on the top of the head. Just try and see if you manage to pick up any signs of tension or what we call a blockage. Now there's physical blockages and emotional blockages. So to identify a blockage, it's usually one of four things. Really, we're either looking for an area where there's tension or strength, a contraction, or something that just doesn't feel quite right. Those are normally the four ways of identifying a blockage. And again, they can be physical or mental blockages. So I'm going to move on to the face and the neck. And again, just checking in with that part of the body to see if you can feel any sort of blockage, any signs of tension, strength, contraction, or something that doesn't feel quite right. And then onto the shoulders, the chest and the upper back. Again, just checking in, just checking for any signs of any blockages. Then focus on the arms and the hands and the fingers. Again, just checking in with that part of the body, just checking for any blockages. Then we're going to check in with our body around the belly area, the middle and the lower back. Just checking everything's feeling nice and relaxed. And then going on to the hips and the waist, the groin, your bum. Just checking for any blockages, just making sure everything feels nice and relaxed. If you do notice any blockages, just take notice of them. Just remember them for when we finish this body scan. So next we're going to go on to the legs, so between the knee and the waist, just focusing on the legs, just checking in for any blockages. And then finally, just focusing on the legs below the knee, your ankles, your feet and your toes, and under the foot, just checking for any blockages. Again, just focusing on your breathing now. And if you did compile a list of blockages, as we did that body scan, then we can go on to the next part. And just imagine where those blockages were as lumps of ice inside the body. So imagine the feeling of the ice, the cold around the surrounding areas of your body. And then just imagine those lumps of ice to slowly start melting. Turn into liquid. Slowly the ice is turning from ice to water. And as the ice melts and turns to water, that water is really cold, so you can still feel the cold. Imagine the feeling of the cold in the areas surrounding where that blockage is. Imagine that the ice now is really small, and slowly, until all of the ice has now turned to water. And then imagine the water slowly starting to warm up, so it doesn't feel as cold. So those areas of water inside the body are now getting a little bit warmer. You can start to feel them feeling warm around the rest of the body, and gently heating up, and then becoming very warm. Once these areas of water become really warm, imagine the water slowly starting to boil and to turn to steam and evaporate. So these areas of water now inside the body are slowly starting to shrink, condense and turn to steam and leave the body. Just imagine that until all of the water that was the blockage has completely left the body and turned to steam. And the whole body now is feeling calm and relaxed. Just return to focusing on your breathing, just channeling your inner self, just promoting calm and peace within. And just to finish, we're going to rub the hands together. With the hands, we're just going to wash the face and the ears. This just gets rid of any static energy we may have created whilst we did that body scan meditation. Okay. So, I mentioned a little bit before about emotional blockages. Last week I talked about anxiety and how anxiety feels. Today I just wanted to spend a moment just to speak about frustration, which is another emotion that people could be feeling from self-isolation, not seeing the usual people or the usual routine. So frustration is quite common. And when you find frustration as an emotional blockage, it'll be just stuck there, stuck up. And it'll feel like it's just vibrating and it can't move. It can't go up or down or to the left or to the right. So if you do experience that when you're doing the body scanning meditation, just focus on that area of frustration, that emotional blockage. And before you do anything, just try and imagine that blockage spreading out. So really stretching out throughout the body, going down to the toes and out to the fingers. Really stretching it out before you then think about just sinking that emotional blockage downwards. And that should help. Okay. So next we're going to go on to do some Qigong. And last week we started doing the Shibashi Qigong set, so we're just going to go through that and add a few extra movements to the set. So we're just going to start commencement of form. If you check back on last week's video as well, I do talk about the visualizations that go with these movements, so check back on that video and go through the first 1 to 6 exercises with the visualizations from there. And today I'm going to talk about the visualizations from number 7 up to number 10. Okay. So we're just going to start commencement of form. And we're just bringing the hands up and over and sinking down to the waist. So just nice, slow, gentle movements. And we're going to do 6 repetitions. next one is opening the chest. We're bringing the arms up, turning the hands to face each other and stretching out. Bringing the hands together, turning down, bringing them back down to the waist. The next one is called Dance with Rainbow. A really nice name. Bringing the hands up above the head and turning out to the side. This left hand stops about a 90-degree angle and the other hand is just covering the bahu, which is the crown of the head. It's an acupuncture point. And I'm swaying to the opposite side. Just swaying from side to side. Imagine that we're arching the hands and touching that rainbow. Come this way a little bit, in the centre. Down to the waist. Okay, the fourth one, it's called Clearing the Clouds or Dispersing the Clouds, and we're just going to cross the hands. We're going to sink down, bring the hands up and bring them over and round in a circle. Again, crossing the hands, bringing the hands up and round in a circle. One, number 5. This one's called Monkey Washing the Ears. I'm going to come up a little bit closer to the camera as we're moving backwards with the hands, so I need a bit of space. So we're just going to start as though we're holding a ball. I'm going to drop this right hand down, bring that back behind us, turn the body round to look behind us, bring this hand forwards in front of the ear, and then this hand goes on the top. This one comes underneath, round and brushes past the ear and comes on the top. Hand comes underneath. Takes us into the next exercise, which is number 6, and this one is called rowing. Make sure I'm in the middle again. So bringing the hands up and over, closing the hands, pull the oars, bring the hands over, close the hands as we pull the oars. Last one, and then we bring the hands round the opposite way, step out to the left, and this one's called throwing the ball. Bring that hand over, turning to the opposite side, throwing the ball and turning the hand over. So with this one, the visualization is that you've got a ball and you're throwing that ball as far as you can. Think unlimited, so imagine that you're throwing that ball into space. Okay, number 7 is called Gazing at the Moon. Another really nice name. Some really nice names to these moves. If you like the names, feel free to drop us a like on the video. And again, if you've got any questions, or put them in the comments below and I will get back to you. So imagine that we're holding a ball and we're just holding the ball sideways on, and we're turning the waist, swinging to the side, just looking behind us, up in the air where the moon would be in the sky behind us. Okay, the next one is called pushing the energy ball. Imagine there's a ball of energy in the palm and we're pushing that to the opposite side, pushing to the opposite side. Okay, and the last one, this one's called cloud hands, or hands playing with clouds. Feet shoulder width apart, left hand in front of the tummy like so, right hand up like so. And we're just turning to the left with the waist, swapping the hands over, and turning all the way across to the right, and swapping the hands over. Imagining that we're in the clouds in the sky, and just pushing the clouds along with our hands, pulling the clouds, just generally playing and moving the clouds round with the hands. And that's our first 10 exercise of Shibashi. And when we do Shibashi, it can create a lot of energy in the hands. So with the hands, we're just imagining that we're holding an energy ball of energy, just turning that around, moving the hands away from each other and closer. You might feel that energy as a vibrating or warmness in the hands. Probably not so much if you're outside because it's freezing cold today compared to last week. And then with the hands, we're just placing them on the tummy. So for men, left hand, right hand, ladies, right hand, left hand. Just absorbing that energy, chi energy out of the hands into the body. Just focus on your breathing there. So for the final part of today's video, I'm going to teach you the first couple of moves of the Tai Chi Form. And this is a Yang style Tai Chi Form that I learned from my teacher. And I started learning back in 1992, so it's quite a long time ago. And Tai Chi is something that you can always do, and no matter how long you've been doing it, you'll always find something to improve on. So we're going to stand with the feet together. We're going to make a fist with the left hand and the right hand covers it, and we just lean forward, keeping the head facing forward, and bow. Drop the hands to the waist, and we step out with the left foot so the feet are shoulder width apart, And the first move is called rising, and just bringing the hands up until the back of the hands are level with the shoulder. A slight bend in the arm as well. We don't want the arms completely straight looking like a mummy. Yeah, just a slight bend in the wrists, in the elbows. Just bringing the hands up. This is the first move called rising. Opposite to rising is sinking. We're just bending the knees. Bring this left hand down and round in a circular movement. And bringing this right hand in under the chin. Now that bit can be a bit challenging for people who've not done Tai Chi before. So just to help with that, imagine at that point that the hands are like the fingers on a clock. So the right hand is like the hour hand and the left hand is the minute hand. So the minute hand is moving a little bit quicker than the right hand, the hour hand, but they're both arriving in this position at the same time. So the palms are facing each other. So again from the beginning, rising, sinking, and that left hand down and round and the right hand under the chin. Both hands getting there at the same time. So the next part from here is shifting. So we're going to shift all the way over to the right side. So the left leg is on the floor but empty. And then we can step forward with the left foot and turn our ball over. So imagine that as a solid ball. So you can't put your hands through it. We don't want no oblongs. So we want to keep that nice round shape as we turn in the hands over. So again from the beginning, rising, sinking, bring that left hand down and round and the right hand under the chin. Shifting, stepping, turning the ball over. Okay, so that's the first two moves of the Tai Chi Form. So move one is rising. Move two is called flying diagonal, and it composes of this sinking and the ball with the hands, the shifting part and the stepping forward, turning the ball over. So I'm going to do it the other way, stood the opposite way, so it's easier for you to follow along at home as well. Do it a few times. So bring the feet together first. Fist with the left hand, right hand shields it. We bow, back. Drop the hands to the waist. Step out. To the first move, rising. Sinking, bring that left hand down and round and the right hand under the chin. Shifting. Stepping forward and turning that ball over. So again, feet together, we bow, step out with the left foot, feet are shoulder width apart. So first move rising, sinking, and left hand down and round and the right hand under the chin, shifting, stepping forward with the left foot and turning the ball over. One more time. So bow. Put the hands to the waist. Step out with the left foot into rising, sinking, shifting, stepping and turning that ball over. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed the class today. We'll be doing more again next week. I'm going to do these classes each week on a Thursday from 10 o'clock. And next week we're going to look at grasping the sparrow's tail, which is another movement out of Tai Chi. It's one of the ones that appears on the advert for Sudocrem with the pandas. So we'll be doing some Sudocrem panda moves next week. Hope you've enjoyed the class. Feel free to share with anybody you know who will benefit from it, and I'll see you again next week. Also on Mondays on the page I will be posting a meditation, a guided meditation, and this week's next Monday's will be one called Letting Go of Fear and Anxiety. It's one that I put together for the current situation that we're all in with this self-isolation, with the COVID-19 pandemic. So have a go at that and let me know how you go on with everything. And if you've got any questions, I'd just like to get in touch, just pop it in the comments below, and I'll see you again next week. And just to finish, we bring the feet together, we inhale, the hands over the head, exhale as we lower the hands, and then we open the hands out into the shape of the lotus flower, which is a symbol of beauty, strength and purity. We inhale the fragrance of the lotus flower, close the flower, exhale and offer that healing energy out to the world. Namaste.